me to share mine in addition to you sharing yours? Let's see.
What do you mean?
Hold on, let me just, so do you want me to be controlling the slides?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because if I get disconnected, then everything's just going to go in disarray.
Okay, gotcha. Let's pull it up.
So we are broadcasting now.
So does everyone just need to tell me when they want to change the slide?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like just say next slide.
Yeah. Okay, can you see that?
Yep. Perfect. Thank you. Just going to go live in about 1 more minute. Hello and good morning, everyone. My name is Aman Bashir. I am an Education USA advisor at the Lahore office. I hope everybody is doing well today. Thank you for joining us in today's session of Get to Know Universities. So first, I'm just going to give you guys a brief introduction of Education USA and USCFB, and then I'm just going to hand it over to my counterparts here. If you can just move to the next slide. So what is Education USA? We're part of the US State Department. We provide accurate, current, and comprehensive information. One of the methods that we follow is the best fit university. Essentially, what we do is we ask you different questions during a one-on-one session, which are private sessions between an advisor such as myself and a advisee such as yourself. And we basically ask you questions about financial information, what kind of university that you might be interested in, whether it's a small university or a large university. These are the kind of things that we're essentially looking for during one-on-one sessions, and we will essentially guide you to the best fit university to the best of our abilities. Moving forward, if we go to the next slide. These are some of the free services that we have to offer. I would like to remind everybody that all the services that we have to offer at USCFB in Pakistan are free of cost, other than the tests themselves. So we have free in-house sessions such as the one that we're conducting right now. We have free workshops for TOEFL, GRE, and SAT. We have a library in our office. Once social distancing and COVID is a distant memory, we'd be more than welcome to bring you guys back in. We also conduct mock exams for GRE as well as the SAT. And then we have one-on-one advising, which I earlier mentioned, that we try to figure out for best fit university. Going forward, why study in the US? Diversity, funding, flexibility. Flexibility is that if you don't know what you want to study, that's perfectly okay. You don't have to decide right now. You can go undecided to the US. Recognition and quality go hand in hand as far as US education is concerned. I graduated from Penn State back in 2012, and I can vouch for that. That was a great experience. I did my bachelor's of sciences in economics from there. Lots of diversity, different cultures, religions, backgrounds, ethnicities. It's a melting pot, essentially. So yeah, these are some of the few reasons why we personally believe that studying in the US is great. Going forward, these are the 5 steps that we, 5 steps to US study that we guide all our students to. Number 1 is researching your options, such as the wonderful 4 universities that we have on our panel today. So you would be researching your options. Then number 2 would be financing your studies, figuring out how you would be paying for your college, whether it's going to be through financial aid of the university or through your parents or uncle, aunt, whoever. Number 3 would be completing your application, making sure if there's any test requirements that they're updated in the Common App or the university portal, and any other requirements that there are, writing an essay, etc. And then number 4 is obviously if you get admitted and if you decide to go, then obtaining your visa. And then number 5 would be a pre-departure orientation, where we invite everybody from different parts of Punjab, and we make everybody meet each other in case somebody's going to the same university, then they become friends. Basically to lessen the burden of a student if they haven't been to the US before. So yeah, that's it from me. If you can just go to the next slide. My name is Aman Bashir. That's my email address. If you want any information regarding university shortlisting, whether it's for bachelor's, master's, or PhD, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm just going to hand it over to these guys. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Paul Kim. I'm one of the international admission counselors at Loyola Marymount University. Thanks for coming by and to learn more about our universities. I'll be talking a little bit about LMU and studying in Los Angeles. Next slide, please. So this is a not drawn to scale map of Los Angeles, and you can see where LMU is located. We're about 15 minutes away from the beaches of Los Angeles, so you could bike to the beaches. We're about a 20-minute drive from the international airport. If you're interested in finance or in banking, most of those companies are located in downtown LA, which is about 30 minutes away. Los Angeles, California is also known as the entertainment capital of the world. And so if you're interested in working in studios or in film, the vast majority of the production companies are located about 20 to 30 minutes away from our campus. We also have a pretty large aerospace industry. So if you're interested in Boeing, Raytheon, or any of those type of companies, they're actually located quite close to the airport as well. And so the great thing about Los Angeles is no matter what kind of industry that you're interested in, whether it's technology, engineering, nonprofits, finance, LA truly has it all. And LMU is located in pretty much the hub of all of that. Could you go to the next slide? So LMU is a Jesuit institution, and our education is pretty much 500 years in the making. So we have 500 years of really teaching students the excellent model that we have. And we are committed to fostering a diverse academic community that's rich in opportunities for intellectual engagement, but most importantly, real world experience. Could you go to the next slide? And so the Jesuit traditions and education is really instilled in our mission statements. And so for one, the encouragement of learning. Our professors are always there for you. We have small class sizes, so on average of 20 students, which really allows you to be engaged with your classmates as well as your professors. They'll know who you are by name. You won't be a number in a classroom. And it's really important for our professors to really get to know who you are. Additionally, the education of the whole person is an important part of the LMU mission. We don't want you to just study one thing. We want to make sure that you're pursuing things outside of your major. And so we really firmly believe in the benefits of an interdisciplinary education. The world today, a lot of things are becoming interconnected, especially when it comes to different sectors of industries. And so after you graduate, it only makes you a stronger person. And lastly, the service of faith and promotion of justice. This is probably one of the more important aspects of the LMU mission. It's great for you to come to LMU, have a really amazing time and an amazing college experience. You can graduate with an amazing GPA and get the job, your dream job. But for us, that's all great, but we also want to instill in you that you are a leader within the community that you are part of. And so we want to make sure that you're always promoting justice. And so our students, they're really into social justice. They do a lot of community service. And so that's really an important part of all of our students' life while they're at LMU. Next slide, please. So the academic experience, can go on to the next slide as well, of LMU, is that we are a medium-sized school, so about 6,600 students. So we're not too small and we're not too big either, especially in a city like Los Angeles, which can be quite large. We think that LMU provides a really great experience in a large city where you have the best of both worlds. Our average class size, as I said before, is about 20 students. And so that really allows students to get to know each other. And our student to faculty ratio is 10 to 1. Next slide, please. So these are some of the, a short list of the rankings that LMU has achieved over the years. Last year, we were, for the first time, placed into the national rankings, and we ranked 64, and it shows that LMU has been progressively working better and better in providing students with an excellent academic setting. We have some really great programs in business, as we are ranked in top 20 for marketing, as well as entrepreneurship. Many of the students that are applying to LMU also know us for our film school. So we're in the top 10 for the best film schools in the US. And we have some fabulous science labs as well. And this is just a small snippet of what we do really well. Next slide, please. So this is a list of all the majors and minors that we offer at LMU, and you can see them again if you like at academics.lmu.edu. And they're housed within 5 of our colleges on our campus. And so we have College of Liberal Arts, the College of Business Administration, College of Communication and Fine Arts, the School of Film and Television, and the Seaver College of Science and Engineering. And so there will be some majors where you won't be able to double major just because a lot of the courses overlap, but the vast majority of courses and majors you'll be able to double major in, and as well as minor. So anything with a star on that list means that you can minor in. Next slide, please. And at LMU, we really believe that the educational experience needs to go hand in hand with the student experience. I fondly recall my time in college, and as great of an academic setting I had, I thought that it was the student experience that really made me enjoy college. And so, like many other schools, we're going to have a ton of different clubs and student organizations. We actually have 19 residence halls and apartment buildings on campus, which is quite a lot for a smaller size school. We want to make sure that students do experience what it's like to live on campus and be able to have access to their professors and their classmates. We have 9 on-campus dining locations that cater to various dietary needs. We are a Division I school, and so if you're interested in sports or just like watching sports, we do have that. We have 5,300 on-campus employment positions, and so we do offer employment for international students. And so my office, the Office of International Admissions, we hire about 5 to 6 international students every year. And so there are opportunities available if you like to work on campus. We have over 1,500 vetted internship opportunities, which is a key component of your experience, university experience, especially if you want to get a job afterwards. As I said before, community service is an important part of our students' experience as well. And so our students commit over 200,000 hours of community service every year. And it's not mandatory. This is something that students go out of their way to do because they enjoy and they really want to give back to the community that they're a part of. And the study abroad experiences, well, we have over 80 study abroad experiences that can be connected to also various other Jesuit institutions in the US. But with what's going on with COVID-19, we hope that to have our study abroad experiences pick back up as soon as possible. Next slide, please. I like to say that what you put into college, whether all the time, money, it's really an investment, and you want to make sure that you have a good return on investment. And our Career and Professional Development Office does a fantastic job in making sure that every student, their needs are met in terms of what they want to do after college. And so we offer various programs through our Career and Professional Development Office. We have career checks and site visits, which allows you to actually go to different cities in the US and sometimes abroad as well to meet with alums or parents of current students, go check out their offices, and see what it's like to work in those type of industries. And so this picture above is a career check to New York City, and these students are part of the theater arts department, and they're just checking out the different opportunities in the music industry as well as in Broadway. We also offer various retreat opportunities, as well as summer internship funding. In most cases, when you get an internship in the US, it won't be a paid internship. It's more of the resume building experience. But we do offer summer grants that allows you to pay for your rent during that time. And like many other places, we also offer soft skills workshops. So if you want some help in building a resume or your cover letter or interview prep, we do have that as well. Next slide, please. And so the outcomes of an LMU education is truly limitless. 2 years ago, 99% of all LMU graduates had a positive outcome, such as employment or graduate school within 6 months of graduating, and last year it was 97%. And so LMU continues to provide our students with not just an amazing experience during college, but also being able to attain their goals after they graduate. Next slide, please. And so these are just some of the companies that our students are currently working at or have had internships with. And this is a really diverse set of companies. You'll see all different types of industries here. And if you are interested in working in Southern California, in Los Angeles, or in the greater California region, or even just in the West Coast, all these companies have their pretty much their headquarters in the west side of the United States. Next slide, please. The student support services is also important for us and for our students. We offer free tutoring. We have university advising. If you are the first in your family to go to university, we also have a first legal community that provides support for you. And most importantly, we have international student support with the Office of International Students and Scholars. They'll be the people for you to go to if you have any questions about visas or just help with anything related to international studies. We also have various ethnic and intercultural services, as well as disability support services and student psychological services. This dog right here is Buster, and so he's our on-campus emotional support dog, and you can actually sign up to walk him throughout the week. Next slide, please. And so just some of the nitty-gritty stuff I'll go over fairly quickly. We're on the Common application, the Coalition application, and the LMU online application. I would, if you're applying to LMU, I would recommend applying via the Common application just because it's a little bit more streamlined, allows you to apply to the other universities that you're applying to as well. And we do have one supplement essay. In terms of English proficiency requirements, we do require one of the following: the TOEFL, the IELTS, the Pearson, or Duolingo. I would recommend taking the Duolingo English test right now just because it's the most accessible for most students, and especially for universities that do accept it. It allows you to take the test at home on your computer. And not every international student needs to take an English proficiency test for LMU. If you're attending a school with that's an IB or A levels, we don't require it. But if you're unsure, just send us an email and we'll confirm whether or not you'll need to take it. We do require one academic letter recommendation. So either from a teacher or from a counselor. Our more competitive applicants are submitting two. And here it says that the SAT or ACT scores are recommended but not required for admissions. For this year, LMU has never required the SAT or ACT for international students. And this is now especially even more true with what's going on. And so the SAT and ACT is not required for admissions. And I know it says here that there's merit scholarships available. Typically, we would use the SAT and ACT to determine the amount of merit scholarship you would receive. But for this year, we won't be requiring the SAT or ACT for merit scholarship consideration either. We do have two deadlines. We have early decision, early action, which is November 1st, and you'll find out around mid-December. And then we have the regular deadline, which is January 15th, and you find out early April for that. Next slide, please. And so if you have any questions about LMU and how to apply or any specific programs that we offer, this is our contact information. For general inquiries, do email international@lmu.edu. And if you have any more specific questions, I am the counselor for your country. So my email is paul.kim@lmu.edu. And so thank you. I'll hand it off to my colleague here to introduce her university.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Emily Smith, and I'm an international admissions counselor at Western New England University, and I'm here to talk a little bit about our school. This is an overview of our campus, the shot right here. It's in the fall, so we do get all 4 seasons. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Next slide, please. So we're located in Springfield, Massachusetts, which is in Western Mass. So we're about an hour and a half from Boston. You can see on the right side of Massachusetts, and about 2.5 hours away from New York City. So in the Northeast region of the United States, on the other coast from California. So little distance between there. We became a private university in 2011. Prior to 2011, we were Western New England College. Once we became a university, it really opened us up to an international stage and international applicants. Like I mentioned before, a little bit about the region, you are going to get all 4 seasons. So our average low is about -5 degrees Celsius. Oh yes, thank you. I'm going to answer all of the questions at the end, so thank you for sending those in. But our average lows for the winter is about -5 degrees Celsius, and it can get up to about 30 degrees Celsius in the summer, which is right now. It was a scorcher yesterday. Next slide, please. A little bit about the campus and what it looks like and what to expect. We have about 215 acres in a suburban residential area. Springfield, which is the city that we're located in, is actually the 3rd largest city in Massachusetts behind Boston and Worcester. Springfield, Western New England University is in its own residential area inside of the city. So you get the best of both worlds. You're inside a city as well as having a nice campus feel for New England. We have about 3,700 students total. 2,500 of those are undergraduate students and 1,200 of them are undergraduate students. I'll get more into the programs that we offer specifically for those, but this makes for a very small community feel. We are a small private institution. And our students are coming from about 27 states and 30 different countries from all over the world. Next slide, please. Thank you. So like I mentioned before, our small size makes for a small classroom size. Our student to faculty ratio is about 12:1. So it does get a little bit larger your freshman and sophomore year when you're taking more of the intro level courses. However, come your junior and senior year, you may have a course that is a class that is 8 people in one class. What I like to explain to students is that if you think that you really like one-on-one individualized attention, then you should be looking at schools that have smaller student populations. If you think that you're going to thrive in a lecture setting hall, then fantastic, but Western New England may not be the place for you because the largest class size that we'll get is about 30 people, as opposed to some of the larger schools where you'll have lecture halls with 200 to 300 other students. A few of our headlines that we like to highlight for our prospective students. We were ranked in the top tier of the regional universities in the North. We're within the top 100 undergraduate engineering schools in the US News and World Report. One that is not listed here is that we are actually the #1 school in Massachusetts for getting a job after graduation and puts us at #5 nationally. And we also have accreditations spanning from our business school with AACSB and ABET for engineering, as well as ACPE for our pharmacy school, ABA for law school, and a couple others that I can go into. Next slide, please. Thank you. So here are the schools that we have on campus. We have our College of Business, College of Engineering, College of Arts and Sciences, a College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences, as well as a School of Law. So within these 5 schools, we have both undergraduate and graduate level opportunities available to you. Next slide, please. A few things that makes us stand out about our undergraduate programs. Like I mentioned before, we have that small class size with individual attention. You're looking at about class sizes about 12:1 for faculty to student to faculty ratio. We emphasize very heavily on the real world. That means getting your internships during your degree, resume building opportunities in our career center, doing mock interviews with our faculty members as well as representatives from our Student Success Center. All of these things, because unfortunately we cannot hold on to you for eternity. You do have to go out into the real world, and we want you to be the most prepared for that. So like I mentioned, we do have an extensive opportunities for internships. Western New England has over 1,000 internship opportunities within our network. That doesn't mean that you can't go out and forge your own relationships and networks, but the ones that we have established, we have a ton of opportunities right in the New England area, as well as across the country and internationally. When I talk about a large network of support, we want to make sure that none of our students fall through the cracks. Transitioning to university and transitioning to a university lifestyle is a big change. So when you come onto campus, we automatically assign you 4 advisors. That includes your academic advisor, a career advisor, your university advisor, and a peer advisor. The peer advisor will be somebody who is an upperclassman who is there to help you with anything that you need that may not fall into academics or your career. It might be choosing, texting them to see what professor you should take next year, how to get to a certain class, what dorm is best on campus in their opinion. So getting that student to student experience. The academic advisor is somebody who's going to help you along in your academic career at Western New England. They're there if you need extra studying hours, if you need free tutoring that we offer to all of our students. They're there to help you move through your academic plan in the 4 years of your undergraduate. The career and university advisors are there to prepare you for after university. So like I mentioned before, they're the ones who are going to help you build your resume, do mock interviews with you, set you up with internships, give you networking opportunities. So we find that our students thrive the most when they take advantage of all 4 of these advisors. And then the last bullet point is interdisciplinary opportunities. This means that you can major in one school, let's say the School of Arts and Sciences, and minor in, for example, the College of Business. Or you can double major in both of them, major and minor, major and double minor. This is about your experience. So we are here to help you form your degree the best that is most unique to you. Next slide, please. A little bit about our graduate distinctive features. I'm not sure if we have undergraduate students or graduate level students here, but a little bit about our graduate level students. We do have 4 entry points for most of our programs. That means that you can begin your degree whenever you are ready to do so. That includes a September entry point, January, April, and July. So our next cycle starts September 31st, I believe, or sorry, August 31st. And so this is really nice for our students because for graduate level students, you may be juggling a job. You may not know exactly what you want to go into. We're on a rolling basis, rolling admissions basis, so you can enter at any point. You can complete most of our master degrees within 15 to 18 months, depending on whether how many credits you're taking, what program you're in. And we have hybrid options for our students. So you can take, as long as your courses are over at least 50% on campus, then you are more than welcome to come to Western New England and take some of your courses online and some of them on campus. And then you also get interaction with working professionals. So our faculty members, a lot of them do hold jobs outside of being a faculty member or professor. So automatically you get that connection within your industry because your faculty members are the most well-connected people on campus. They know who's hiring, they know what the need is in the market. So the best thing for you to do for undergraduate and graduate is to take advantage of that. Next slide, please. A little bit about our student life. This bear right here is our mascot. His name is Spirit. So we have 11 residence facilities of various styles. This means that you could be sharing a room with one person. You could be sharing a common space with 8 other people. You could have 3 other roommates. It depends on the year that you're in, as well as the dorm that you are assigned to. 80% of our undergraduate students do live on campus, and housing is guaranteed for all 4 years. So you never have to worry about whether or not you're going to be kicked off campus or not. It is guaranteed for 4 years, but you only have to live on campus for 2 years. For our graduate level students, we also offer housing for you as well. I find with international students, it makes it a lot easier living on campus because it's one less thing that you have to worry about. And in terms of being involved outside of the classroom, we have over 70 clubs and organizations that you can be involved in. This ranges from a radio talk show, our WNE TV, a robotics club. So there is a huge range of clubs and activities that our students love to be involved in. And we find that our students who are the most involved on campus and have a foot in a couple different doors are the ones who have the best experience here. And then we also have 20 men and women's varsity sports. We're a Division III school. So per NCAA regulations, we don't have athletic scholarships that we can offer, but we do have club and varsity level sports that you are more than welcome to join and go out for. Next slide, please. So a little bit about the application process. All you have to do is first go to wne.edu/apply. If you reach out to me, I will waive the application fee. Just shoot me an email. I'd love to hear from you. And we do have rolling admissions. So this means that you can apply really at any point. We don't have any hard deadlines. You can expect a decision within 2 to 5 days if you're an undergraduate student, and 2 to 3 weeks if you're a graduate level student. The reason why it takes a little bit of extra time for our graduate level students is because they do go through a committee review with our faculty members outside of the admissions office. And we don't require any external credential evaluation. So you don't have to go through a WES evaluation as long as your transcript is in English and has the school and your grades and courses that you've taken. We'll accept it as an application review. Next slide, please. So the differences in materials with the application for our undergraduate students, what we're looking for is an online application. We have a WNE application and the Common App. We are on the Common App. So I always tell students to go through the Common App because it is one-stop shopping. You fill out one application and you send it off to a bunch of schools. It's just a lot easier. However, it doesn't matter to us. We require official secondary school transcripts if you decide to enroll in Western New England. We accept scans or not official copies of your transcripts for the application evaluation process. The GPA that we're looking at is about, ranges from a 2.7 to a 4.0, so 2.7 being on the lower end of our GPA. And then we do have a couple exams that we'll accept for proof of English proficiency. These include TOEFL and IELTS, as well as Duolingo. And then during this time, because of COVID, we are at this time accepting the IELTS indicator exam. We are looking for a personal statement. So whatever you want to tell me, I just want to get to know you better as a student. There's no hard topic that you have to cover. Our SATs and ACTs are optional. So if you think that it will add value to your application, then great, send them in. If you think that your GPA in high school is a better reflection of you as a student, then just go with the transcript and you don't need to send it in. After you are admitted, like every other school, we do require an affidavit of support and a bank letter. You can see here on the graduate side, It does vary per program, but usually it is an online application, transcripts, your proof of English proficiency, 2 letters of recommendation, a CV or resume, the GMAT or GRE for our business programs, and then the financial documents. Next slide, please. This is a little bit of our breakdown with the tuition and fees. I understand I'm going a little bit over time here, so I'll just leave this up for a second. The biggest thing to know about when you're applying to a school in the US is that the cost is going to include tuition, room and board, and other expenses. So if you're talking to any university, make sure you're getting the full understanding of that, because sometimes you may only think that you're talking about the tuition. We do have a merit scholarship for all of our admitted undergraduate students that ranges between $10,000 and $22,000 per year, and that is guaranteed for all 4 years. Next slide, please. Here are some additional scholarships that we offer, including the You Are Welcome Here scholarship that ranges between $3,000 and $10,000 per year. We do have a leadership grant as well as our Women in Business and Women in Engineering. The You Are Welcome Here scholarship and leadership grant you do have to apply for separately. However, if you are a woman in business, if you are a woman who applies to our College of Business or a woman who applies to our College of Engineering and is accepted, then you automatically receive an additional $5,000 per year. All of these scholarships are stackable. Next slide, please. And if you have any questions whatsoever, I know if you came through the Q&A in the chat, so we'll be happy to answer those afterwards. If you guys want to jot down my email, you can reach me at emily.smith@wne.edu or at international@wne.edu, and our WhatsApp is included there as well. Thank you so much for having us, and I'm going to pass it along to my next colleague. Jessie, you're on mute.
Thank you. Sorry. My name is Miss Jessie Heim. I work at the University of North Carolina, Wilmington. So today I'm going to go over just some general information of the university as well as our admissions policies. And then hopefully we'll have some time for questions here at the end. So to get started, a little bit about UNC Wilmington. We are located on the East Coast of the United States as well. We're further south than the previous school. We are in North Carolina, and we're about 5 minutes from various beaches. We have a beautiful coastal location as well as a large historic district. We're about 10 minutes away from the international airport, so it's very accessible via some larger connections, as you can see on this map here, such as New York, Charlotte, Atlanta. So it's easy to get to our campus, and it's just a beautiful area to live, to study. We have lots of students that come here for the studies, but also just take advantage of where the university is located, being close to the beach, which is a great place. As far as the size of the university, we're about a mid-sized university as far as US schools go. So we have about 14,000 undergraduate students, a little over 2,000 graduate students. So primarily an undergraduate school, but definitely a variety of graduate programs that I'll discuss as well. We have over 640 international students that come from over 50 countries. So we have a very diverse global population, over 55 bachelor degree programs, 35 graduate programs, as well as some doctoral options. And then we have smaller class sizes as well. That is one of our big focuses. So the average class size is about 20 students, but that can be even smaller once you get into your major. So in the range of 10 to 15 students. Here's just some of our popular majors. As I mentioned, we have over 55 different undergraduate options, but these are some of the top ones. One of our kind of unique ones is marine biology because of our location. That goes up to a PhD level. We also offer a coastal engineering program, which is sort of a niche engineering option that we take advantage of with our location. Then we have a great business school that has a variety of concentration options such as international business, entrepreneurship, and those types of areas. Again, for a full list, you can go to this link here as we do have many more options. So as far as the undergraduate admissions requirements, as I mentioned, I oversee those. You can apply online. We have the Common App as well as C-Level. I do advise Common App just because I believe this was mentioned earlier. It's just a little more straightforward, and you can apply to multiple schools through that. We have a non-refundable application fee of $80 US. We will need your transcripts sent to us in English. Typically, we prefer those directly from the school, but we are offering some flexibility right now with COVID. If you need to email those to us, we can accept them that way as well. The minimum GPA requirement for North Carolina is 2.5 on a US 4.0 scale. So we do convert that for you. There is an essay question, which we just like to use those to get to know you kind of outside of your transcripts. So just pick a prompt that you're passionate about so that we can kind of get some more insight to who you are. We love to see any extracurriculars that you've been involved with, so such as leadership roles, sports, anything that you're passionate about. Proof of English proficiency we do need, which I'll talk about on the next slide. And if you have any college credit that is foreign, we can accept those. We don't need a WES for the admissions requirements. However, our registrar's office, if you're admitted and you're planning on coming, is going to request a WES or just a credential evaluation service through NACES so that you can get credit for some of that coursework. Our deadlines for fall is April 1st, but we've extended that this year just with COVID-19. We've kept that open. And then spring is typically October 15th. Those are both soft deadlines. We really have those more for the visa requirements to give you more time to get your visa, but we're usually always willing to work with you. If you find out about us later or just want to kind of apply a bit later, we can make that happen. So proof of English proficiency, we need one of the following, either a TOEFL, IELTS, or Duolingo. We are SAT, ACT optional. However, if you have taken one of those and you've met one of these requirements, you don't also need to submit like a Duolingo. So just choose one of the following. And then we also have the option, we have an ESL program. So if you need to work on your English a bit, you can come through our ESL program first. And if you go through level 4, you don't need to submit like a TOEFL or IELTS in addition to the ESL program participation. So that's a great option. We have conditional admission for that, where if you're admitted to the ESL program and you provide a transcript to us that meets our GPA requirement, we'll give you a conditional admit letter saying that you'll be able to start a degree program as soon as you finish the ESL program. And then if you are already at a US university and you've taken 2 college course levels of English with a B or higher, that also waives any of the English proficiency tests. For graduate admissions requirements, they're a little bit different. At a minimum, there's an online application for them as well as an app fee. For them, they will require all foreign college transcripts to be evaluated by NACES approved credential evaluation service. So they do need that for the admissions side of things. And then they also need English proficiency as well in either a TOEFL or IELTS form. For our tuition and expenses, so this is for this year, sometimes that might change slightly. This is the total possible cost of attendance. So some of these might not apply to you. For example, the transportation cost, if you don't have a car on campus, which you don't need to have a car on campus, most of our international students don't, you're not going to have that transportation cost. So this is kind of the highest estimate of fees that you might have. And this is also the amount that you need to be able to show on your immigration form I-20 that you need to get your F1 visa. So you have to be able to show this proof of funding, the total amount for either undergraduate or graduate, and in combination with any scholarships that you might receive in order to go through the student visa process. As far as scholarships, we do have a couple options. The SAT, ACT I mentioned is optional. However, if you've taken that, you might qualify for some scholarships. The largest one being $20,000 split up in $5,000 each year over a 4-year period. So you will automatically receive that if you submit an SAT with a 1300 or higher. That will be applied to your tuition fee. We also have an incoming undergraduate degree-seeking international student scholarship, where if you have a GPA of 3.5 or higher on that US 4.0 scale, we'll automatically give you a one-time award of $2,000 split up $1,000 for each semester of your first year. And then we also have an international global student ambassador program. These ambassadors help mentor our incoming international students to help them feel comfortable when they arrive on campus. So you have to apply for that program after you've been at the university for at least 1 year or for 1 full semester. And if you are accepted in that program, you will get a $2,000 scholarship for each year that you participate. As far as graduate students, there's a variety of graduate assistantships available that range usually from $5,000 to $11,000 for the year, and most of departments have those available for international students. So those are pretty accessible on campus. And then the Office of International Students and Scholars, that is a very big support kind of mecca on campus. They do everything from the immigration advising to all of the pre-arrival information with an international student orientation. We have a host family program. We have the mentor program I mentioned. We also do a lot of events and excursions throughout the year to kind of get international students familiar with the local area as well as other parts in the United States. For example, we took students to Charleston last year. We usually take students to New York City every semester as well. So lots of opportunities to be engaged through the International Student Scholars Office. And then campus life in general is very active. As I mentioned, we've got about 16,000 students, so that's a pretty large campus community. We have over 260 student organizations, as well as a lot of sports programs. We are a Division I school, so we have a variety of sports options at the Division I level, as well as kind of intramural and club level, depending on what you're interested in. And then we have a lot of campus dining options, over 15 dining halls with a variety of dietary options for those as well. And then housing, it is required for freshmen to live on campus. However, if students after their freshman year want to remain on campus, they definitely can. It's a little bit harder for graduate students to live on campus, but there are some opportunities for that as well. There's also tons of apartments within a 1-mile radius that have access to the free UNCW shuttle that students can live in as well. And all of the campus housing are either relatively new buildings or have been recently renovated in the last 5 years. So I'll save the time for questions at the end, but this is just my contact information. I wanted to kind of get through this as I know we're a little tight on time. So please feel free to follow up with me with any questions you have, and I will turn it over to my colleague for the next presentation. You're on mute, George.
Okay. Yep. Now I can hear. You had control of my mute too, because I couldn't unmute. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How is everyone during these difficult times? First, my name is George Burke. I am an international recruitment specialist at the State University of New York at Albany. But I first want to send my sincerest hopes for everyone's family and well-being as we go through this difficult time in this world. So hopefully international education will lead us all to help each other out. The University of Albany is a very old university. It was established in 1844 as a normal school. It's located, next slide, please. Next slide. Hello. Yeah, thank you. Okay, we're located at the state capital of New York, which is the city of Albany. We have 9 schools and colleges, 150 different academic bachelor's, master's, PhD, and certificate programs. We have over 1,100 faculty members and 170 research labs. We're a Division I school. Next slide, please. We're located in the northeast of the United States, 2.5 hours from New York City, about 2.5 hours from Boston, 3.5 hours from Montreal, and about 4 hours from Niagara Falls. And you can take the train from Albany to New York City to Boston to Washington, D.C. So we're fairly well centrally located. We have a student population of 13,000 undergraduate students, about 4,200 graduate students, and about 1,800 international students from over 95 different nations. Next slide, please. This is a view of what we have 3 campuses. This is our main campus, which 90% of the teaching and students are at. It's located about 5 kilometers outside of downtown Albany. We're in a suburban area. We're only 15 minutes from our international airport. The campus is 300 acres in size. Next slide. This is our health sciences campus. This is actually located in us being part of the state government of New York. We're located right on the state government campus in their health science area. We have many labs and many co-relationships with both the state government and the health department in the city of New York. Next slide. As I said, we have 9 different schools or colleges. The largest is our College of Arts and Sciences, our School of Business, our School of Criminal Justice or Criminology, our School of Education. We have a brand new college, well, it's now about 5 years old, Emergency Preparedness, Homeland Security, and Cybersecurity. We have a College of Engineering and Applied Sciences, the Rockefeller College of Public Affairs, the School of Public Health, which is located at Health Campus, and our School of Social Welfare, which also in America means social work. Next slide, please. Some of our key academic programs. In the area of environmental studies, we study the impact of weather on the environment. Our business administration, computer science, cybersecurity, economics. We have a very interesting program in economics for bachelor students. It's called business economics, and it's really data science for the undergraduate students. So those interested as BS students can study data science without having a bachelor's degree. We have College of Education, Emergency Preparedness, which is getting a lot of use these days, engineering, 3 primary fields, computer engineering, electrical engineering, and environmental engineering. Information technology, the life sciences, which is biology and chemistry and biomedical sciences, public health and public administration. Next slide, please. As I shared with you, some of the key areas of study in the School of Public Health is bioinstrumentation. That department is now being used by the state government of New York to do all the statistical analysis around COVID-19. So the governor has appointed our campus as the person to study all of the numbers and issues and statistics around COVID-19. And the public health department, as I said, is the primary supplier of public health professionals for both the state of New York and the public health department of the city of New York. In the area of computer science, I like to talk to people that we really cover 3 areas of cybersecurity. We have what is called digital forensics, which is in our College of Business. That studies the criminology of cybersecurity. We train individuals to search out and find who created the cyber breach and the difficulties around the criminal aspect of cyber activity. We also have the software and technical side of development on cybersecurity. In all three of those fields, we offer both internships, and international students are very much welcome to have internships. They are not with the U.S. government because that's not allowed, but they are with many of the major consulting companies and agencies which employ more people in cybersecurity. Next slide, please. Some of the activities that we try to help support students, because we believe international students have they're moving into a new cultural environment. So we have strong academic advisement, which starts with before you arrive on campus, you are introduced to your academic advisor. And then you meet with that person at least once a semester, if not twice a semester. We offer career fairs, and this year for the first time, we're offering 3 virtual career fairs that students can take part in. We work with students on mock interviews, resumes, job skill building, writing skills, and in each college, they set up alumni nights for mentoring. Next slide. Here we go. Study abroad is a possibility for all students, primarily bachelor students. We have 80 programs in 30 different countries, which is a way that you can study in the United States, have studied in your own country, and then find another country to spend a semester or so. Next slide. These are some of our top university rankings. The business majors have the 4th highest potential salaries in the country. 6 of our programs are ranked in the top 25, criminology being one, and the list there shows you all of the in the top 100. Next slide, please. Entrance requirements for undergraduate students. We expect students to have, freshman students, to have a B average, which is a 3.0 in a 4-point system. Transfer students are expected to have a 2.5 GPA out of a 4. We take both the common application and SUNY application, and as my colleagues recommended, because you're looking at schools in many different cities and states, the common application would allow you to do the most. TOEFL is a 70 IBT, IELTS is a 6.0, SAT is not required for undergraduate students, but if you do take the SAT and score above 400 on the verbal, you do not have to take the other exam. Also, what is not listed there, we take Duolingo, and our Duolingo minimum score is a 95 for undergraduate students. Next slide, please. We do offer scholarships up to $12,000 a year. It's based on your grades. We will grant you the scholarship. There is not a special application procedure. You will see our tuition runs about $46,000 a year between tuition, living expenses. If you live off the campus, then it runs closer to $40,000 a year because the apartment living is less expensive in our area. Next slide, please. As I said, that basic application, common application, submit all of your academic work. If you've done any university work, you must submit that, as well as all of your secondary school work. Transfer applications are more than welcome. And in fact, we are still accepting transfer applications until the first week of August. Next slide, please. We offer conditional admission to IEP students. I don't highly recommend going in that direction for Pakistani students. I don't think you'll get a visa. They're going to expect you to have met the language requirements. So we can skip through all the ESL slides, please. Skip this one. Now, the graduate programs that are the most popular are psychology and industrial psychology, are data science in the mathematics department.
George, just wanted to remind you of time. Sorry.
Okay, I'll get going. Okay, you can all look at that. Next one, please. The graduate admissions is a IELTS of 6.5, TOEFL of 79, and a Duolingo of 105. We can move. Oh, GRE is required of most graduate programs, both master's and PhD programs. Okay, next. Again, the application fee, the tuition for the graduate student is much less. The I-20 amount is about $30,000. Your tuition is $20,000, and living costs about $8,000 to $9,000. Next one, please. Very important are our STEM programs. We can just take a quick look and go down through that slide. We have over 13 STEM degree programs. So, 33 STEM degree programs. So I advise students to be very cognizant when you're looking for a major to look at these STEM programs. And if anybody has more questions, you can send me a quick note. Next slide, please. Alumni go get jobs in every major corporation in the United States, and it doesn't matter where it's located. All of our business and finance and accounting people easily get positions in New York City, as well as one of the most sought after degrees is actuarial science degree. Next slide, please. And you can go quickly through these. Campus life. We have a full abundance of campus life, full international scholar services, Division I sports, that you must contact the coach. Housing, we have about 8,000 students on campus, single rooms, double rooms, and 4-person suites. Next slide. And many places to eat. We meet both veg and non-veg requirements. We meet all requirements for Islamic students. We also have a mosque within 10 minutes of the campus. Next slide, please. And this is the final picture of many pictures of the campus. I'd just like to, final slide, please. I would just like to, this is our staff. John Pomeroy on the lower left is our director. I'm the old guy on the right. And then we have 2 young ladies in our office. Be very happy to be in contact, answer any questions. My email is gcburke, B-U-R-K-E, @albany.edu. So feel free to contact me, and thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for being here with us. So we are over time, but I'm just going to take a few questions. I hope that's okay with everybody over here. So Adil is asking, do any of the universities offer bachelors in aerospace or aeronautical engineering?
Albany does not.
One thing that I like to point out to students is even if you really like a school but they don't have the exact program that you're looking for, always look at their internship opportunities, because you could go into possibly a degree in civil or electrical or mechanical engineering and then get an internship in aerospace engineering or aeronautical engineering. So I don't know if any of the other schools do have that degree. We do not, but if there are internship opportunities available, that is something to look into.
Yeah, so for LMU, we don't offer those specific majors, but we do have mechanical engineering, and a lot of students that are interested in aerospace are majoring in mechanical engineering. and then having internships with the aerospace industry that is fairly close to our campus. And so we actually have a pretty good connection with SpaceX. One of our alums is currently one of the head persons at SpaceX. He runs the jet propulsion department at SpaceX. And so if you are interested in that specific area, I would recommend applying to LMU with the mechanical engineering major.
We don't have the mechanical engineering option at UNCW. We just have the coastal engineering route.
And Albany only has electrical, and it doesn't associate with aeronautics or aerospace.
Okay, perfect. And one question is that do you offer any, any waivers?
Admission or application waiver?
Yes, application waivers. That's correct.
Okay, Albany does not.
LMU does offer application waivers, and you'll have to just send an email to us requesting the waiver on the common application or on the LMU application, and we'll give you the code for that.
That's the same for Western New England. Just shoot me an email and I'd be happy to give that to you. And that's for undergraduate and graduate level students.
UNCW does offer them for undergraduate, but we would need an email from your counselor requesting one.
Perfect. Thank you to all the HEIs, US universities for being here, for giving us your valuable time and giving us the information that you did today. Thank you to all the attendees as well for being here with us. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to email these guys for any further questions. Thank you again. Take care and bye-bye.